So this is a follow-up to my video, what's going on with that Masters of the Universe movie. And the last I reported was that it was at Netflix, that it had an actor, Kyle Allen, and that it had directors Aaron and Adam Nee, and some uh, writers from um, some movies from Iron Man, and I forget the other movie. But basically, they had good people behind the movie, and that it was going to be that it was in development, and it was going to be coming out October 2024. Well, now it is dead at Netflix. Um, it is dead, and here we go. Masters of the Universe movie dead at Netflix after at least $30 million in development. Mattel shopping for new buyer. Masters of the Universe, a live action movie based on He-Man and a slew of other popular Mattel toys, is officially dead at Netflix, according to multiple Variety sources. Insiders say that close to $30 million has already been spent on development costs, and the cash that's been shelled out to hold on to talent like previously announced lead Kyle Allen had the film's heat-seeking directing duo Adam and Aaron Nee, and the film's heat-seeking directing duo Adam and Aaron Nee, The Lost City. Other knowledgeable sources estimate all-in costs for development at twice that figure. The latest headaches for He-Man and Friends only further complicates the property's torturous journey to the screen, one that goes as far back as 2007. It's a long road that crossed through two other studios, Warner Brothers and Sony Pictures, and countless writers and directors like John M. Chu. I told you how I felt about him directing it in the last video, and McGee. The latest implosion at Netflix, according to 5 individuals with knowledge of the project, was over budget concerns. A spokesperson from Mattel confirmed that Masters of the Universe is no longer at Netflix, but did not provide any further comment. A Netflix spokesperson had no comment. Set on the planet Eternia, Masters of the Universe largely focuses on the conflict between He-Man, a blonde muscle god, and his devious nemesis Skeletor. The characters formed a much-loved 1980s animated series which developed a cross-generational fan base during its syndicated runs. For the latest film iteration, the budget came in at over $200 million, with cameras set to roll this February, sources said. Last spring, however, Netflix was confronted with a stunning stock drop that saw the powerful streamer shed $50 billion in value after investors became concerned about the company's subscriber losses. Well, I guess they should have allowed people to share their passwords. In the aftermath of the sell-off, Netflix film head Scott Stuber and Chief Content Officer Bella Bajaria tried to reassure the industry that they still had money to spend amid their Wall Street woes. However, sources close to Masters of the Universe said that after that point, the streamer refused to shell out more than $150 million to see up-and-comer Allen, American Horror Story, and A View and A Haunting in Venice pick up He-Man's sword. A source familiar with Netflix said the stock drop was irrelevant to budget issues on Masters, noting that its content spend has been flat at $17 billion for 2 years despite market fluctuation. The Nee brothers, who came in riding high as directors from Sandra Bullock's rom-com hit The Lost City, worked with producers including Todd Black and Mattel's Robbie Brenner to get the budget down, even as significant pre-production around the film still took place. Producers brought back a proposed $180 million budget to the table, and Netflix still balked, never handing in the movie an official green light. One source with knowledge of the budget talks said the final figure included costs spent on development. Netflix and filmmakers even considered shooting Masters of the Universe and a proposed sequel simultaneously to amortize the expense they added. Multiple parties said streamer is enamored with the filmmaker's siblings, but could not reach a middle ground. It's telling that Netflix would bail after such a significant investment. Part of the at least $30 million spent in development was paid to Sony, which sold the Masters film rights to Netflix in 2019, per sources. And the decision to do so further illustrates the challenges of making huge film franchises exclusively for streaming platforms. Black, an Academy Award nominee who produced Fences and The Equalizer, both Denzel Washington films, has been relentless in trying to find a new buyer for the property. Black engaged Universal Pictures in the past month or so about acquiring the film. Two other sources familiar with his efforts said the studio passed on the project. Black and leadership at Mattel are doubtlessly hoping this week's Barbie, projected to take in north of $100 million at the box office, will shore up their position in finding a new buyer. So this is an old article because this past weekend, Barbie brought in at least $162 million at the box office. So, Barbie, so that should really help He-Man's position, both Barbie and He-Man being from Mattel, and He-Man being this sort of sci-fi action property, and having the whole nostalgia factor. I really think this should help it sell to another studio. Mattel has reached media saturation in the past months as Warner Brothers marketing has been at hyperspeed promoting the July 21st opening of Barbie, while the Netflix fallout over Masters of the Universe hasn't surfaced in a significant amount of press the corporation has participated in. Mattel CEO Ynon Kreiz has been touting its value in plain sight. It's as big as Marvel and DC, Kreiz told The New Yorker recently. It's hundreds of pages of characters and sorcerers and vehicles and weaponry, you name it. And then you flip through the pages and here's a movie, and here's a movie, and here's a TV show. It's endless. Meanwhile, the dual SAG-AFTRA and WGA strikes have disrupted all of Hollywood and complicated the involvement of an actor like Alan. While he remains attached to play He-Man on paper, production schedules across town have been spun into chaos and may look very different by the time the strikes end. He could well move on to other projects. This is especially true of the Nee brothers, who insiders said have a deal at Universal to develop new hybrid live-action animation film around the Lego franchise. That pact was signed long before the strike. Universal signed a 5-year partnership with the Lego Group in 2020 to produce new films and series based on the toys. What is most palpable, nearly a dozen conversations with people close to the project have illustrated, is a growing sadness that He-Man and She-Ra, who I personally would want to write and direct a film for myself, and their cohorts won't make it to screen anytime soon. It was very important to us that with Masters of the Universe, we hold on to what that was for us as kids. Aaron Needs Hope Variety in 2022. It wasn't silly to us or absurd to us. It had a depth and a meaning to it. The brothers wanted to hold on to something that has a core human empathy to it and yet isn't afraid to have fun and get crazy. What we're going to be able to do with this movie is going to blow people away. So yeah. So yeah, this makes me sad because as much as I was iffy about it being at Netflix, what I had found out from making the last video had convinced me that they had at least put a strong team behind it. You know, the Adam Nee and Aaron Nee directing it, and the writers behind it. You know, I was confident in the writers. I was confident in the directors. And just now finding out that they were willing to put $200 million into it, it was possible we were going to get a decent Masters of the Universe film at Netflix. Um, but now that's dead in the water. So, but I'm hoping with this new Barbie Sans that we have going on, that people will realize that, you know, Masters of the Universe is a property that they can take advantage of out there, and that they can do something with, and can have another sort of toy renaissance, and and you know, do what they did with Barbie, and make as much money as they did with Barbie, with the nostalgia factor, with with yeah, with the attachment that people have to these toys and to these properties and to the stories that comes with it. Because Barbie was just a toy. Masters of the Universe has a story attached to it. So has a backstory, has history, you know, heroes and villains and friends and whatnot. And I just would like to see someone pick it up and take off, and see, and would like to see it done theatrically now, to see a theatrical film. And after that, to see a separate She-Ra given a separate film of her own. That way I could write and direct the She-Ra film. And I'm just putting it out there for anybody with the power. I want to write and direct the She-Ra film. If anybody's listening, anybody watching, I'm putting it out there. I want to write and direct the She-Ra film. Okay? Okay. Okay. But how do you feel about this Masters of the Universe film being dead at Netflix? Um, are you sad, or are you glad that Netflix is not going to get their paws on it, and that is possibly going to go to another studio who could do well with it? Let me know in the comments down below. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to let you know the next time I upload or go live. Thanks.